Gaming Morning Show continues. It is so good to have you here on Friday, June 18th, 2021. Thanks for being with us wherever you may be on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube. It is Devinne Moses joining us now, a senior for Duke University's The Chronicle student newspaper. And we're here to talk about the games that you should be playing this summer. Devinne, thank you so much for taking time to join us today. That's kind of where we're going to talk about. You just had these 8 games that you threw out for The Chronicle, talk about games that you should be playing this summer. So, with that said, maybe give us 2 or 3 that really stuck out in your mind.
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on the show. It's really exciting. And all of these games were all meant to be very accessible, especially for people who might not play games regularly. So I try to create like a big selection for whether you're into scary games or into very casual games. I think the first one off the bat, for me at least, was Pokemon Snap. That was the first one off the list because I have a lot of nostalgia for the original game. Although I am younger than when the first game came out, I just like researched that, but I do remember when I was very young playing it through several times, and I think that this game in particular uses all the fundamental features of the original game and expands it in a way that keeps you coming back. And I would just say that it's definitely for fans of Pokemon, even for fans of the spin-off titles. And I always like to think that for people who like to build up skills over the summer, it's a pretty good way to learn photography in one way or another. And then I guess I'd say for the next one, a game that I tend to play all the time is Sims 4. I've always been a Sims fan, and I think that with Sims, it's one of those games where you can just sit down and relax and control a different life altogether. And I'd like to think of it as playing with life without many of the severe consequences. So it's always those types of games where you can just sit down, create a new diverse avatar, either play your ideal life or maybe just play a completely different character, really ruin whatever Sims life you want to. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've played Sims, and we're gonna ask you about E3 in just a second. But you said something specifically about this list that you chose, and that was around accessibility. Why was it important for you to find games that were accessible?
Yeah, I think in the past couple of years, the gaming industry has realized how important accessibility is because there are a lot of different types of gamers, broad, diverse cast of gamers, and I think once we started realizing that, and that a lot of people enjoy playing video games, it only made sense for most games now in development to broaden their horizon and make sure that they're catering to all different types of backgrounds. And I thought that this list would be, if not wholly accessible across the board, at least each game offered some diverse way for like different players to enjoy gaming. And I have a younger brother who really enjoys gaming, and I think accessibility is really important for him and important for me because of his love for gaming and maybe his like different challenges growing up. So I always thought that creating and crafting stories that were available to a lot of different gamers was something that's really important. And I definitely think that this list gets there and has some of the best games for that.
Cool. Yeah, it's been I'm looking through the list, and it's definitely some things that I still need to check out. And like you said, that nostalgia for Pokemon Snap is one of those. I haven't purchased the game yet, but uh, off of pure nostalgia, I definitely want to play it. And it was a big time waster when I was a kid. So
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're trying to, like, you know how in the regular Pokemon games it's catch them
yep,
all.
yep.
Now it's like try to take a picture of every single Pokemon available, make sure that it's all 5 stars, and it's definitely one of those time waster games.
Yeah. And you made me feel old when you said you weren't around for the first game.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about E3 then. And Julian, actually, I'd be curious because we haven't even had a chance to talk to you, but we watch all the
Mhm.
E3 things that are out there. Is there anything specific that stood out to you, Devin, in terms of the E3 announcements? You're working on a piece for that for the Chronicle. What kind of stood out preliminarily?
Yeah. I looked at I try to look at every single conference, and I think I got like just about every single thing. But obviously, there's the big titles like Elden Ring, Starfield, like the titles that everyone's like really hyped up for. But I really enjoyed the indie showcases. Devolver Digital, I think specifically had a bunch of great indie titles that I was really excited for. So Death's Door, um, and Skatebirds, those were both like bird-like games that I don't know if I just really enjoy playing bird games or they just looked really cool. So I'm definitely checking those out. And for like cozy and casual, relaxing games, I think Moonglow Bay, where you're on the eastern Canadian coastline and you're just fishing and helping build a town. Um, I think those types of games are really fun as well. So definitely on my wish list, and they're all coming out in like the next couple of months. So definitely exciting stuff.
Yeah, Julian, what game stood out to you from E3? Anything you're excited about?
Oh, definitely. I'm a big Halo guy, and I'll actually like show. So
Nice.
Whoa.
I'm a big Halo fan, so I'm definitely ready for that. Forza Horizon 5,
Hmm.
and and then like you all said, kind of going into some of the smaller stuff that I saw. Somerville, it was this game, really unique art style. I think it was shown during the Xbox showcase. I think you play as a family, mother, father, son, and a dog. Um, and then there was this other one that looked really cool. It kind of looked similar to the last night until you got further into the trailer, but it's called Replaced. Um, that looks really dope. Uh, those are some of the main things. I mean, like I said, outside of all the big things. So of course your Far Cry's, your Battlefields, um, and then the Ascent is another one. I think it's coming out next month, if I'm not mistaken. That I'm ready to check out.
So, Devin, you'll have that piece out coming up soon in the Chronicle. For anyone who wants to keep tabs on you, wants to follow some of your work, what are some of the best ways to do so?
Yeah. So I think my Instagram is the best way to contact me, at dev.moses. And for people who just want to follow my Chronicle work and look at the other great content on the Duke Chronicle, you just search dukechronicle.com and usually it'll get you there. We also do, of course, Duke Sports. So that's what we're mainly known for. So if you're interested in that, you'll find it on dukechronicle.com.
I don't know if you can see my hat, but I'm not a big fan of the Duke Blue Devils. But that's okay. We can all
That's
get along.
okay.
We love featuring student writers, student media members in the show, and I have a lot of connections in the broadcast and journalistic world. So if you ever are interested, always email me. I'd love to try to help as much as I can. Devinne Moses, thanks so much for joining us on Gaming Morning Show this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
That was a lot of fun. And